How the fuck are you? And welcome to the third episode of Allah and another motherfucking infidel. Allah versus Greg this time. How you doing, Greg Cunningham?
Doing great. How you doing? Oh,
Well, I'm good, so I'm doing really well and simultaneously really shitty. Basically every emotion you can possibly think of. But I've got something happy that might make me smile, maybe half a smile or a little wink in the eye, because I think you're going to fail my test. And as we left it off, my last infidel here just laughed at me for a lot of the things I was saying, which make you blind and then put you in the dark. Seems absurd. Yes, of course it seems absurd, but it's God's absurdity, so it's allowed. But here's what you get. Here's your punishment. This is hell. Do you want me to describe hell for you? Because you
sure.
are an infidel. All right, so you tell me what you think of the eternal vacation I've got set up for you. For you who do not believe, and never shall you do it, then fear the fire prepared for the infidels. And you know what that is? That's hell. Right? So are you used for fuel in hell? Yeah. Men and stones. And that's verse 28 of Surah 2, the cow. So I use hot men and stones. I'm going to throw you on top of the hot men and the hot stones. It sounds more like a sauna, doesn't it? Yeah. Or a boys' sauna. But should I describe heaven for you? Because you don't really have anything to compare that to. Oh, because heaven's right underneath. So that's what you get if you're an infidel. And so far, there's only one way out of your infidelity. Okay, and this is what you miss out on. This is heaven. Gardens which have rivers that flow! ! So a flowing river. That is like sliced bread right there.
Oh, yeah.
Or like Einstein's relativity. It's a real big breakthrough, I think, having a river that flows. Because then you don't get, well, Allah doesn't know why. It's just important for irrigation or something. And then there's lots of sustenance, mainly fruit. So I hope you're not on any Atkins diet. And this sustenance was the same was our, and they shall have its like given to them. So I'm giving you all this stuff. If this is your alternative, it sounds more like a walk through a park, but trust me, it's heaven. So there is little. This might make you want to go there. Therein they shall abide and have wives, plural. So you get to have all the wives you want, apparently, of perfect purity. So we're talking Mary Magdalene before she slept with Joseph's neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Mary, mother of a deranged Jewish boy? I forget his name. Not important to history. He was a prophet, but he wasn't the prophet. So all right. So those are your two options. Okay, heaven or hell. You seem to have chosen hell because heaven. Can you hear me? Because this is literally right before I describe heaven and hell. I give you a way to get a golden ticket, like the Willy Wonka factory. All right, Greg?
Oh, yeah.
But before I tell you how you can get this Willy Wonka ticket, what did you think of hell? And the fact that I'm going to send you there for eternity.
Oh, eternity. That sounds terrible.
And not only that, the fact that I'm going to send you there for eternity for things you can't control that I did to you.
Of course.
How do you feel towards me?
You sound like an asshole.
Do you know what? That's exactly what the last person called me. Word for word. A fucking asshole. And well then this is the reason. This is the reason I have things in here like I increased the disease in your heart, infidel, because you say things like that to God, okay? What does heaven sound like?
That sounds boring.
Well, an infinite amount of boring is just the same amount, just boring that doesn't end. Find. So you've, and it's basically that flow, women. It sounds like an Afghan warlord's what he'd get, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the perfect purity thing, like, I mean, I don't know, they're like actually wives. Well, anyway, I'll read on. This is how you're the new infidel, but you'll meet my friends, and hopefully you get along with them. And when we you and saved you and drowned the people of Pharaoh while you were looking on, and when we were in treaty with Moses 40 nights, then during his absence took ye the calf and acted wickedly. Didn't you? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I saved you from the Pharaoh, and don't forget that I did my old little trick that I like to do in the Quran, which is where I'm about to let all you two guys go, and then he's like, nah, harden his heart. So then I force another plague on him, and then I keep doing it. I must have done it like 7 times. He wanted to let you guys go, I swear, but every time Moses was like, just stop hardening his heart. He'll let you guys go. And what did you think I should have done that here? Do you think I should have? Do you think I should have? Maybe I should have done this. We forgave you, that ye might be great. See, so I've forgiven you for worshipping the calf. And you know the calf is that other god, Baal. You know the god Baal, the cow god.
Sorry, I had to get the doorbell.
Okay, well, of course, that's what many infidels say when they're charged with worshipping other deities. Because, you know, there's actually something I do hate more than infidels, Greg, and that's people who worship other gods. I'd rather you didn't worship any god. Then you're already going to hell. So what do I have to make the rocks bigger, hotter? What do I need to do to convince you people?
That's a tough one.
But you agree that once Moses was left from, once I let the Pharaoh allow Moses to leave, after I stopped all my jokes and tyranny, I did actually let them leave, and some started worshipping me, because remember I changed my name in the 7th century to Allah from Yahweh, because Yahweh was starting to get a bit old, because people were starting to make jokes and calling me Yahweh. So I said, no, it's Allah now, which literally means God. And I actually have a perfect language to work with now, Arabic. But let's not worry about whether I can speak more than one language or not, because you do realize this is the perfect book, and it's written in the perfect language, therefore, because it's not up for translation. But I'm reading it into English for your sake. Otherwise, there's no point, because you're never going to confess to your wicked acts. And so what gave Moses the book and the illumination? This is the Old Testament. You know the 10 Commandments, right? You shall have no gods before me. You with that one? You agree with that one? No gods before me? Because I support the 10 Commandments.
Well, I like to
and you what? So you look to graven images. You're
oh yeah, that was
having good. You have no gods before me. Good. You only Muhammad's. No wait. You have no gods before me. Well, you don't steal, that I know of, but you're not truth of this book right now. You're letting that opportunity go. Do you covet anything?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I cherry pick, because I don't really care about that one.
Well, do you covet your neighbor's wife, her ass? I mean, his oxen.
Yeah, her ass too.
Well, you're on slippery. I've read, as you may believe, you may not believe this, but I've actually read my book before, and okay, you're already not believing in me, but if you start believing in this Baal god, that makes you, and then if you believe in one more god, you're a polytheist. You basically, but my arch nemesis is a polytheist who believes in being covetous, or even is covetous. So you've already conceded you're covetous. You want that fine ass, that donkey,
Yeah.
right? We're talking about donkeys, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and other property like women.
Oh, that too.
And it's
Yeah.
okay. I'll keep going then, because and anyway, throw all that Old Testament stuff out. That was just to get this first book into place with Moses, my man Moses. Okay, the Book of Illumination, I called it. Really, it was. Then it got tainted over the years in order to guide you. Okay, but I take it you're not Jewish.
Oh no.
And even if you were, or actually, if you were Jewish, we may have something here, or Christian. So you're completely on the out.
I'll be Christian.
Okay, you want to be a Christian? All right.
Yeah,
And remember, well, that's still not sort of only letting the Jews off the hook at this point. The Christians I haven't sort of dealt with. So okay. So I want you to become one of me. And remember, when Moses, who, let's face it, never existed, said to his people, "Oh, my people, hey, oh, my people, verily ye have sinned to your own hurt. Be your taking the calf to worship it. Be turned then to your lay the guilty among you." Okay, how about this? How about you be one of Moses's people following him? Okay.
Okay.
And so now I'm God. I'll be Moses, and this is what I'm commanding you to do. Okay, are you going to do it? You're one of the Israelites. Oh, my people, especially you, Greg Cunningham, ye have sinned to your own hurt by you're taking the calf to worship it. Turn then to your Creator and slay the guilty among you. This will be best for you with your Creator. Then turned he unto you, and he is the one, the merciful. Okay, so are you going to slay the... mean you can use your hands, sword, you pick?
But yeah, sword.
God. So you actually... sword, scimitar, what kind of sword do you want?
Well, I don't know.
Because there's going to be... there's a lot of people you've got to cull.
You got to fillet it.
So and yeah, and you know, so you're on the team. You're killing. You really the ones where the cow god, not the imaginary one, or the one you can't see.
Oh, how do you do that?
Well, you ask Moses which ones, because the covenant, you can tell. You pull their pants down and you check if they've joined the covenant. Because
Okay.
I think it just, you missed this part, but in the last surah, I lured Moses up this mountain, and I said that, "Do you want to make a covenant with me, bro? Come on, man. I'm better than that cow, Baal." And he believed me. So but he said it's going to be a bit of a hard sell to convince people like Greg to saw the end of their genitalia off, to join it, make a covenant. But then I said, "Okay," and I guilt tripped him, and he did it. He actually did it. So, seeing as you're a good follower of Moses, you would get your sword out and you would just start hacking away. Men, women, children.
Ooh. Well, I wouldn't want to do that.
Don't forget, these are the people who started worshipping a false god.
Yeah, but that's immoral, isn't it?
Well, you tell me. I think it's a disgusting thing. I mean, if there are other gods out there, I've written three bestsellers in a row, by the way.
Oh yeah.
The Bhagavad Gita, that's popular in some countries, but it was Mein Kampf. Well, it was popular, but this one's got everything. It's even got things that weren't real, like Moses.
That's true.
But let me continue and get your thoughts on some other pieces. And so, but I like it how I say that Moses, command everyone to turn to me and slay the guilty among you. And then I say that I'm merciful. Like that touch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Why am I? It's basically, I'm killing everyone who doesn't agree with me. So it's just one big agree fest.
Yep, sounds like it.
You see why I'm doing it, right? It's like sort of a Hitler policy.
Yeah.
It's not like a Stalin policy where I just kill everyone at random. I base it on certain things.
Yeah, you got to get rid of all the...
Whether you agree with me or not, basically.
Yeah. Get rid of
all right. Let's keep role playing then. And when ye said, "O Moses, we will not believe thee until we see..." That's what you said to Moses. You got some. I'm not going to say arrogant. I'm going to say audacious. You got some pretty vivacious going after challenging my prophet.
Oh,
Do you know you said that you're not going to believe until you can see me?
right.
And then guess what happened? A thunderbolt fell upon you while you were looking on. I bet that shocked all the doubters.
Yeah, very shocking.
I bet the lightning showed them why it's true. Yeah.
Was I carrying a lightning rod?
All right. Now that now that the doubters should all be fully charged with optimism, positively charged, and okay, towards my negative charge. Okay, so all right, that was actually aimed at you because you were Moses' follower. Moses, I speak for Moses. Then we raised you to life. And then ye had been dead. So it was basically a pointless exercise. Because in hindsight, I know exactly. In retrospect, it seems like I just raised you to life. Oh wait, but it's not finished. I raised you to life and then made sure that you were dead, that happily you might give thanks. So this applies to everyone, even the people who are born and live their entire life. And say you were born and has lived your entire life with chronic pain. Greg, how would you feel about that statement I made to you? The thanks for creating and all this. Do you thank me? What's your...
No, why?
So Dr. Greg, the prognosis is fuck you, Allah. Is that it?
Oh, yes.
Well, seems like each time I bring a new person on here, they make me seem like I'm... At least you keep your laughs to some. You put some discretion into them and trying to make me feel like I've written a book like for a 2-year-old could improve upon. All right, but it's going to get more crazy. Okay, it's going to start introducing things that don't exist, but actual physical objects. So get your thinking hat on.
Okay.
And we caused the clouds to overshadow you. So have you ever been walking around and have you seen the clouds just rain down on you?
Oh yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time you see that, that's proof of me. Every time it rains, think. Oh, I read that in the Quran. That's the premise one. I read this in the Quran, that clouds overshadow you, and you read that Allah makes the clouds, and so the conclusion is that Allah's real because rain happens.
That's
that would be William Lane Craig thought that would be a good deductive argument. I'm a fan of hardcore evidence, though. And remember that if you want to be the science guy, you have to actually prove the Quran wrong. You can't just because science can't prove anything right. This already is truth. You can give me all the facts and all the wisdom in the world, but you can't give me the truth.
No.
Like I'm giving it to you now.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? We're going
All
to finish the page off, and we would have done. Oh my goodness, this is going to take me like 10 years to do. Okay, and the Khalsa is huge. Okay, and we and we sent down manna, and like manna, not like in the video games, and quails upon you. I think, and then I said to you, eat of the good things we have given you for sustenance. So it's not really for you to enjoy, it's just to keep you alive. I could have sent down chocolate cake, but I didn't. It's just the bare essentials. It's manna. And remember, manna's not real. It's just sort of, well, if you know what manna does, it's sort of like that blue stuff. You have the health bar and the blue magic manna bar.
Yeah, like points or a number.
Yeah, imagine you're playing like a Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
And
well,
Moses would have been dressed like a wizard, so it's sort of like that. Yeah, and then, oh no! And after I offered you the food for sustenance, they not injured themselves. I send you manna and quails, and you eat the good things, and then you injure not me, but you injure yourself. That's a big WTF. I must have been on the manna when I wrote that bit. And I use code whenever I'm talking about drugs. I saw Nixon coming a mile away. And when we said, enter this city. So this is me talking to you, and eat therefrom at your will, and enter the gate with prostrations. You know what a prostration is? That means like how they, prostrate, get down, be respectful. On your knees, forgiveness. I'm afraid I'll have to. And we will pardon you your sins and give an increase to the doers of good. All right. So do you want me to do an increase to the doers of good?
I guess.
Manna? I'll admit they're the only doers of good are people who follow this, but I'll give you a chance. Okay, so I say, enter this city. Would you prostrate and say forgiveness? And you're saying forgiveness because of all your sins, okay? You need to list me a sin that you've done. What's a sin you've done, Greg?
Masturbate.
Oh, and believed in more than Baal, a different god.
Oh yeah.
And you we went through an atheist phase there too, and you pretended to be a Christian.
Oh yeah, and a Jew.
And you were covetous. Wow, you're like my most hated and atheist yet on here, Infidel. I don't know if that's an award you want to win. It's something to try and. That's not like that's like an Oscar. You want to try and hide that one.
A trophy.
Yeah. No, that's not. The last two infidels. One of them, he runs like all these blasphemies, and even he. I mean, he ended up in hell, but you're really starting to get on others' bad list. It's like Santa, where he has a naughty and nice list. But when you get on the naughty list, you get firebombed. You don't just get no presents from mom and dad.
Are you sure?
Or Santa, sorry.
If I just believe in him, that I can do anything I want to, though, and just say, thank me, or forgive me. Right?
Well, I look, then I'm going to do more evil in the world. Actually, I'm not going to do evil. I'm going to do no more good, because you won't want forgiveness and pardon for your sins. I said I would do it for you. You don't get to heaven, but you do get to make the world a better place.
Oh, What if you do evil? Then you go to hell?
No, well, I make the rules, so it's kind of cool making the rules because you set the rules and then you basically say you're not part of the rule. I'm not part of the rules. I don't have to follow them. Because remember, this is a rule book for aliens, for other universal species, future species on this planet, past species on this, every single organism in the sentient organism in the universe. It's for Baal, it's for all of them.
Yeah, okay. So aliens go to hell too.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Why did I call it this on aliens to be able to get a quick reference on it? I'd be like, what's a cow? I mean, yeah, that was a big problem when I tried to push my converting past into the Indian subcontinent. They loved the title of the cow, but they did not like it that I preferred that people don't eat pork instead of cow. But and also, if you, oh, actually, you can just wait. I'll tell you how much I hate polytheists in my own words. Not that these aren't my own words, but in my own perfect words. As believed by 1.5 billion, thank you. How many people believe you have the perfect word?
Just, I have no.
Just, well, your modesty does you no good, because the E changed that word into another. That this is you. You changed that word into another, spoken to them, and we sent down upon those evildoers. I sent down upon you. Guess what I sent to you? A wrath from heaven, for that they had done amiss. And that wrath, I'm not going to tell you what it is, because then when it happens, you'll be like, I mean, you won't, you'll be able to avoid it, won't you? Predetermination. But so next time you fall over or stub your toe, I did it to you.
Oh man, I hate that.
Okay. And if I still had any prophets around me then to push you, to bully you, right? Man, I miss Muhammad and his sword. But that was the days when we were spreading this shit. Now I have to do it by internet. Anyway, sorry, I get tangent. Okay. I'm God. I'm allowed to do this. And we sent, and when Moses asked drink for his people, he was a bit of an alcoholic, that guy, Moses. Yeah, he used to have withdrawal seizures from the alcohol, and I used to say to all the other Jew Israelites, look, the man's having a revelation, leave him alone, because they wouldn't have understood epilepsy. Same thing with Muhammad. They would have just killed them as being possessed by one of my many Satans.
Yeah, demons, Satans.
Yeah, and what do you think about that? I made more than one Satan, plural.
Yeah, it seems to
I didn't just stop at one. Seems to be, sorry?
Yeah, it seems to be throughout the Bible it says that too. Devils and Satans, and there's one place where one or two places where it says Satan singular.
Yes, singular, but it also does say Satans in other parts, and that means that I thought I saw one just corrupting everyone, so I thought, oh, let's make a few more. But I mean, it all comes back to me in the end. But the main three things I keep repeating, if you ignore all the death to this and that sort of stuff and all the pseudo history, is I'm compassionate, I'm merciful, and I'm God. And if you want to add a fourth thing, Cunningham is the infidel I'm going to send to hell as soon as possible.
Oh yeah.
Actually, you said heaven was pretty shitty too. I'll send you there just as punishment. Half your time there, half in the other.
For a while, and send me out.
Ooh, this you might need to reappraise a few things after hearing this good news. We're almost at the end of the page, Greg. All right, but the evildoers changed that word into another, and that spoken to them, and we sent down upon these evildoers my wrath from heaven, and it was fucking awesome. I love sending down that wrath. And the only things I've sent down so far are my wrath and a book. So it means that I actually down, because you know there's no up and down in space, Greg. So why would I say down? It's like the book fell from the sky.
Yeah.
I just want you to realize that heaven's not actually the stars like everyone used to think. I'm trying to get in touch with the modern zeitgeist.
Yeah, maybe it's in the cloud somewhere.
Because yeah, I haven't read this in 14 years. You really realize. So things have changed a lot since people used to just not think the Earth was flat and that the didn't go around the sun. Yeah, and bury their houses. Those are the good days. Now it's all just means trying to scare people into becoming Muslim. And you don't look scared, to be honest, Greg. You look like you can hold that pose for like ages. You don't even blink. It's amazing. No wonder they're not impressed by me. I'll have to bring out the heavy parables. And when asked to drink for his people, so he didn't ask. He asked to drink for his people. So he's celebrating, or he's just an alcoholic and buy all drinks and then drinks them all himself. But this is what he says: "I'll be Moses, talking to you. Strike the rock with thy rod. From it there gushed 12 fountains." So this is obviously evidence. I hit a rock, and what comes out of rocks when you hit them?
All kinds of things.
12 found. Yeah, like snakes, insects, dust grains, nothing. Much likely things to come out of it is 12 fountains of water, one for each tribe, so they all knew their drinking place. Because don't forget, Greg, I don't want you drinking with those other 11 tribes. Don't get me wrong, you're all my homies, you're all my Israelites, but I don't like some of you as much as the others. Let's see what happens next. Moses is still strutting around, and he says, "Eat and drink of that which God hath supplied, and do no wrong on the earth by licentious deeds." Okay, so would you eat and drink all that water and... Well, it didn't. There's no food that came out of the rock, I hope. No, definitely no food, but water came out. Would you drink Moses' water?
Well, it depends if it's what brand.
Well, you're only allowed to... well, there's 12 to pick from, and you have to pick your tribes. You can be with the Moses tribe.
Okay.
Moses...
I want the pure one. Pure water.
Actually, no, you don't. You want to be with the non-fiction, hopefully.
Yeah.
You can be the Greg Cunningham tribe, where they've there was the Torah, and then there was the 5 books of Cunningham. I think they were lost to history. And so, but there's this second heavier question. After I've supplied all this stuff, would you continue with your licentious deeds?
Oh, yes.
Misguided. Oh, man, you're just a hard one to crack. So this is the last paragraph I've got for you. We can press on if we want to. And when I said, "Oh, Moses," sorry, this is you talking to Moses. "Oh, Moses, we will not put up with one sort of food, one sort of prayer. Therefore, thy Lord, that he would bring forth for us of that which the earth groweth, its herbs, and its Colorado herbs, cucumbers, and its garlic, and its lentils, and its onions." Now, notice how all those foods, as tasty as they seem, make me look like I have to follow this up with a bit of violence, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But and notice all those foods, they're all not from the Americas or from South America. So there's no tomatoes and this sort of thing.
Oh, yeah.
There's no tobacco. Yeah, there's nothing. There's no mescaline. There's nothing that good going on. It's just smelly shit like garlic and onions. And then he said, I mean, you could make it something out of this. I'll tell you the ingredient again. All right, so I'll grow for you herbs. No, you can't make pizza because you've got herbs. Can't do much with that. Cucumbers, 0 kilojoules in that. Garlic, that's more of a flavor. Lentils, that's the only thing that you can properly really eat. And onions, which you can eat, but they
make it fry.
Apparently if you change them by a little tiny bit, they taste like apples.
Yeah.
Or something, they taste like apples. Literally. Well, I wouldn't know, but that's what I've heard. That's what Baal told me. He said, "What will ye exchange, that which is worse for what is better?" So basically, would you sell yourself short? Get ye down into Egypt, for ye shall have what ye have asked. Vileness and poverty were stamped upon them, and they returned with wrath from me. This, for that they disbelieved the signs of God, slew the prophets.
Ooh.
Not stupid. Or maybe, I don't know, but they did it unjustly. And for that, they rebelled and transgressed. That was an exclamation mark, not me just having some sort of glossolalia overcome me. Okay. Oh, this. Okay, so you're one of Moses' Jews. Let's bring you up to the time of the Quran in my little time machine, and this will be for you now. Okay, now you're that Christian you wanted to be, because the New Testament's out now. You believe that because people get to live for like 600 years in these books. You can do that.
Oh,
you could easily pull off a couple K. Yeah. Good. Okay, because I'll read this mentioning of cow. Okay, how about that to end it on, so people know why this thing's called cow. Not much further. Verily, they who believe, in brackets, that's Muslims, and they who follow the Jewish religion, that was you, but now you are a Christian, and the Sabbaites. Well, I'm not sure who the Sabbaites are, but I think I know which way why they aren't so popular anymore.
Yeah,
but
I haven't heard of them either.
Yeah, and it's not because, your sword is to blame. Let's see how close you can get. You can actually be you can be the theist, because I've already got lots of infidels. And even worse, you're pretending to be a theist, which is, you should know. You missed the early first 2 episodes, so you don't know how much I hate that. Oh, if I find out, I've already got people looking for you where you live. Somali with a chainsaw, he's going to show up, and when he does, you'll know why. Okay. Okay. That was they're in my book, which I'm doing right now. So unless you're a Jew, a Christian, or a Sabbaite, well, don't worry about the Sabbaites, they won't be around much longer. Whoever of these believeth in me and the last day. Oh no, so you have to believe in the last day too.
Oh yeah.
That contradicts my whole infinity thing. But the last day is my reckoning, when I come down and I just fucking go wild. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger just loose on the world, but with the jetpack. And like X-ray goggles and a cape on. That's what it will be like.
Yeah.
But probably less likely. Okay, and I'll probably take my time. Whoever of these believeth in me, well, they doeth which is right, just because they believe in me. That's what's right. Shall cause global warming. Just believe in me, and you'll be good. shall have their reward with their Lord, and fear shall not come upon them, neither shall they be grieved. So, you mean you would be able to see a Christian Jew or Sabiite converted to Islam? I bet you've probably never even seen a Sabiite, because they've been probably in some horrible genocide that I orchestrated.
Yeah.
With you understand what's at stake here? You wanted to convert yet?
Oh, not yet. I'm getting close.
Well, okay. Well, okay, you're getting close. Cool. Because remember, you are a Christian. You're 2/3 of the way there. Jews got another couple steps to make, but and the Sabiites, we'll have to look them up for next time. I'm glad you're not one of those.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I can predict the future. Number 60. Call to mind. That's in italics, by the way. Also, when we entered into a covenant with you and lifted up the mountain. Okay. Remember when that time I lifted up a mountain over you?
Not really.
I need someone to confirm this. People aren't going to believe that I can lift mountains unless you back me up, Greg.
Oh.
You want to be a Muslim or not? It happened, didn't it? I lifted a mountain.
Yeah,
Call to your mind. Look how much is it going to cost? I'll just do a PM for a second. Okay, $50,000. What do you need? Wait, my mic's still on. Hold on.
You can just say.
Okay, so
that people witnessed it, and then put that in the book.
Oh yes, right. Of course, yeah. Look, dude, you should have been there, Greg. There was like 100,000 witnesses, and the mountain literally just went up and then over them and down again. And I'll tell you more about it, because if you want the details, I got them.
Oh no,
It went over you, and then someone said, "Take hold," said we, "on what we have revealed to you with resolution, or clarity, and remember what is therein, that ye may fear." I mean, before you say anything, one could say that you should be scared of someone claiming to lift mountains up to start a covenant.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it up to someone who claims to be rational. Right. Is lifting a mountain up impossible?
Oh, it doesn't sound possible. Unless you're.
Could you? Okay. Right. Well, it's. And the thing that bothers me though is when you look. It's okay to lie on behalf of me. I'm going to have to make you a Sabiite because you didn't back me up when I said I lifted a mountain, because that would make me look omnipotent, and you made me look like I'm not only just a charlatan. You made me look like I like others, like I'm trying to sell something that's not real. Yeah. You don't believe that I took some onions? That's why I aimed this at Muslims, because they get it straight away. From age 3, they get it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Okay, and it's best if you just don't read my book. Actually, I don't want Muslims to need to read my book. You don't need to be able to read to be a Muslim. You just have to believe that this is true, and that facts are all relative. Okay. But truth is here, as is being read to you live. But after this, you turned back, and but for God's grace, except if it wasn't for my grace and my mercy towards you, you would surely have been lost. That's a euphemism, Greg.
Oh, okay.
I actually fucking killed you. That's a direct threat, just glossed over with modest writing. Ye know, to those of you who have transgressed the Sabbath. So yeah, I don't like you doing stuff on the Sabbath. And to whom we said, be changed into scouted apes. That's fucking weird. I mean, looks like I've already changed you into a scouted ape.
Oh, wow.
Are you an ape that scouts around?
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Well, I've finally changed something. Be changed into scouted apes and fucking keep the Sabbath. How many times do I have to tell you guys before I don't punish you some more? And we made them a warning. Sorry, I keep putting myself in third person. And not only that, but I collectivize myself with other prophets. It's really weird. It's really weird being omniscient. But when when I yeah, it is. Trust me. Once you get to hell, I'll show you. I'll show you those herbs, and we'll take a good gander at all the history of the universe, all 10,000 years of it. But after this, you turned back, and you lost the apes part 2, and this follows the apes. And we made them a warning a day, and to those who came after them, and a caution to the God-fearing. It was just another implied threat, bit of a strong arm tactic, wasn't it? Did it work?
Oh, not yet.
So, but what am I not being scary enough? Am I not doing enough threats? Am I not persecuting you hard enough? Am I not making you fear me enough? Am I sounding like an idiot? What all of the above? Am I not articulating the Quran well? I'll tell you what. I mean, but you got to admit, to say that I changed you into scouted apes sounds a lot like evolution.
Oh, that's true.
It does. And hear the other evidence for the Quran that we found so far. In the first surah, it says that I'm Lord of the worlds, not just one, but more than one world. And they didn't know there was more than one world. They didn't even know they didn't even know how big the world was back then.
Maybe it's heaven and hell.
Well, no, it says Lord, King on the day of reckoning, Lord of the worlds. So it means exoplanets, evolution,
other planes.
Well, exoplanets. Well, basically, say if you're writing the Quran perfectly, as I expect, would you wouldn't, if you were in the 7th century, you wouldn't say scout, be changed into, as likely as you would say be changed into apes. You wouldn't have used the word apes. Maybe there's a translational thing. I'll try and get this Muslim I know who speaks English on she can be the actual the Muslim versus Allah. But yeah, I'm sure she'll be able to cover a few of these things that even Allah doesn't understand. But those are the 2 pieces of evidence that I have. Basically, plurals of things.
Like worlds. If it's flat,
like apes. Well, actually, no. I've already sort of. I describe the world here, and I sort of describe a snow globe. I'm sorry, but it's true. I mean, look at my profile pic. That's what I describe. But really, the shadow is. I've looked at the picture, but there's actually the moon is blocking the sunlight's not getting to that part of it. So I thought that's what it looked like. I didn't know it was an oblate spheroid or a planet. I thought it was flat. These things happen in the Bronze and Iron Age. Let me get to the cow. About one more sentence. Okay? You scouted ape. Are you ready? Good. And we made them a warning of their day, and to those to them there was more. Oh, I've already read. I just wanted to read that again to pump the fear into you before I finish. And when Moses said to his people, when Moses says to you, Greg, this is the final sentence. Verily, God bids you sacrifice a cow. That they said, you said, makest thou a jest of us? And my man Moses said, keep me from being one of those foolish. And you said, call on thy Lord for us, that he would make plain to us what she is. And Moses said, God saith. Well, this is Moses speaking for me. He's just speaking for himself, though, the little cunt. He should always consult me. I didn't know how this got past the editor. Okay, God saith, she is a cow, neither old nor young, but of the middle age, between the two. Do therefore what ye are bidden. There you go. I'm sure all of that was completely clear and had admirable adumbration to it.
Sure.
And commendable specificity. I'm sure none of that confused you or seemed like it was a direct your life to come. Or did it seem like I sort of owned you? But you were lucky. You were if you were the one of the last two infidels, you got a very easy section, I've got to admit. And you even got to play a Christian and a Jew. You could be our permanent Jew-Christian Sabaite. How about that? So whenever you're on, I'll rope you into being the person of the book, because I need someone to actually. These characters keep popping up more than I remembered. So because if I'm going to be Allah, I'm going to have to find someone to be the infidel, the polytheist, the someone to do all the imaginary Jesus, Moses, Adam stuff. There's no real female characters in the book.
I wonder why.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why Moses just demands you sacrifice a cow. Would you do it?
It depends on whether I have enough barbecue sauce.
Because the events are occurring around the 7th century. But I mean, would you slaughter a cow in the modern time? This is the commitment I want.
Oh no, probably not.
I mean, if the Islamic State, I mean, they're not doing it by the book. They're cherry picking. They're cherry picking some of the nicer verses. So they're not really. I don't support that state. In North Korea is more of my ideal state.
Ooh.
Complete control, transparency. No Greg Cunninghams, just perfect. No infidels. Yeah, just no. Hell would get pretty packed, I think. Actually, hell is already pretty packed because there's about 9 billion people in there, and heaven's got about 1 billion.
144,000. I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. Luckily, I put more than one river in. Yeah. Good thing I'd left the S on the stones and the men too, because no one would believe that I can keep hell alight with one stone. But enough of second guessing myself, which I don't do. That's what infidels do. So if you're not a Muslim by now, it's sort of I'll leave the challenge up to everyone. If you can write 7 lines or 6 lines, a better surah than the opening surah of the Quran called Mecca, which is a big one because Mecca is, of course, the holiest place in the world for me. It's not planet Odon or something. It's Mecca, a little tiny place in Arabia. That's that's where I like to go. I'm not a big fan of LA or all this business. I like people who are stupid and backwards and ignorant, so I can get them to believe easier. And if you ever start to think, look, this Quran stuff, why do I believe it so much? Or this Bible stuff, the Quran's quoting from the Bible, Adam and actually it doesn't mention Eve because this is a very misogynistic book, but if it did mention her, it would mention her in the object sense. She would be a noun, not a person or a subject. Not that you're not a noun either, but you're an adjective starting with an F and then a noun.
Makes sense.
Yes, a friendly. Yeah, that's the word I was going. I don't know what word you thought of, people, but yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being on. Thanks for playing so many different roles. Before you leave, Do you think you could write a better surah than what we just heard?
Oh, I think so.
And by surah, I mean just any 7 lines that are better than what you think you could do better than that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think if you just got a pen and got a magazine and just poked at 7 different random words until you had like 7 lines, you'd probably come up with something better. All right, people say the last person I quoted the Shakespeare. You know that Shakespeare quote, "To be or not to be." That's about the same length. And she said that she didn't like it. She said she hated them both. But I mean, it's an which was funny, which is good. At least she was honest. You know, I mean, when I read Shakespeare, I was expecting a lot of pretentious wankiness, but it turned out it was really, really good. It was almost as good as the Quran, but it was still pretentious wankiness, but it was goodness. I never said there was anything wrong with that. You know, and then I read the opening to Carl Sagan, and the very first chapter, I can't quote by memory anything in the Quran, but for some reason, maybe because they had more propaganda behind them. I don't know. You created apes are very strange creatures. But I am Lord of the Worlds, so I get to decide when this casting ends. I mean, technically, I think I set it up for like 8 hours, but I don't think anyone wants to hear the Quran for 8 hours.
No.
Wait till we get through the Bible and the Book of Mormon. If you think but this one's not. I don't think any of them are as violent or as crazy as this.
I don't either.
But you actually got an easy section, Greg. I'd like to have you back and have you get to I think it's Surah 4 is when I start dealing with polytheists and just come all out and admit that I really hate them more than anything. And I hate covetous ones the most. So if you were a Hindu, say, you believe in Brahman and Vishnu and all these things, multiple gods, or even if you believe in me and God, a death sentence, it's actually an eternal life in hell, which is worse. Unless you're a masochist. But like me, I'm a sadist and a masochist, and so I'm going to leave it there. Because these are too long, and there's no timer that I'm looking at. How long have we been studying the Quran for?
Oh,
how long have I been trying to save your soul for?
An hour and a half.
An hour. That's good. We'll stop it now because the last one, they're about an hour per show. All right. Well, this is over and out from 3FS TV and 3fs.org and the community principle. If you want to message Allah, then you'll have to go onto 3fs.org and find me, and you'll have to. Finding God's pretty hard, I've heard, but good luck. Anything to say, Greg?
No, I'm good.
No. Just okay. Well, on behalf of myself and Greg, have a great night and go fuck yourself. Good night. I'm speaking for both of us there because I'm God. And especially screw you, Infidel. Fucking Cunningham. Good night and good morning.